Ooh. And we're live again. Hey guys, and welcome to today's stream. We are back for a second stream today to play some Ace Attorney. After playing some Yu-Gi-Oh during the day today, I figured, we could mix it up, play some other games. I could have played Pogo Stuck, but we got the time to work out to make Ace Attorney happen. As you might notice, there are not people to my left or to my right. And the reason for that is because we have decided that we are now bringing in people back at home. So let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the cast. Oh, there they are.
Hades too.
Oh, great. So now I have to shrink you guys. There we go. So as you can now see, Matt and Ivana are now in their own little corner.
Can you share the game screen?
So you can see what we're looking at.
Oh yeah. Sorry, one second. Let me just finish setting up stuff.
Also,
can I share? No, I should be able to stream and share all at the same time. That shouldn't be a problem. All right, so now let me share the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles to them. So now they should be seeing. There's so much going on right now. In between streaming Sundown and now I'm out. No, great. What the fetch? Oh, if I do this, I can't see your camera.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Just pop us out.
Let's see. No, there's probably a solution. There we go. Okay, I set the switch. There we go. So that's handled there. Man, this is okay. So now they're still there. The game should be. You guys can see the game now, right? If only I had a green screen, I could add myself in as if I was in the same location. They actually do have a green screen, but
do you want me to put up the green screen?
No, I do not want you to put up the green screen.
I'll put it up.
So anyway, ignoring that fact, we are here to play some Ace Attorney remotely. Hopefully this will work out. I don't know how this is going to be. This will be the first time we've done this, but for moving forward, we're planning on keeping it this way until the very end, I'm thinking. When we can just maybe we'll try to finish out the game at the very last section. But let's go ahead and get into the game. I want to get a decent way through it. So let's see, we have chat up.
Yeah, we're gonna go till 2 a.m.
Yeah, great. So let's go and move. I always forget where I want to put. Whoops, wrong one. Whoops, wrong one.
Okay.
Preferably 10. That'll be only an hour.
Yeah, let's do 11.
So let's move. Where am I gonna put you guys on this?
Green screen us.
No, I mean like physically for the screen. Like, where am I gonna put you guys?
Just make both you and us smaller, and then just stack us.
Stacking us sounds like a terrible idea. It just seems like
if you put up the green screen, we can literally be behind you, but you'll be in the middle of us. You know what I mean?
No,
that would so work.
No. All right. I think we're gonna go with this. You mean if you green screen it, you'll be in the same corner? No.
Yeah.
No. I don't even know how. So what? How would the green screen work? So basically, you guys are just layered on top of my side.
Yep.
I'd have to mess with my camera proportions then again at that point.
Takes 2 seconds.
Well, I'd have to re-show my edges and then put them in. Sundown has to figure it out. Yeah, make them separate and put them over the characters they voice. No, we thought about that. It doesn't really work because the camera pans back and forth between Ryunosuke and Van Zeeks and stuff, so it's like you'd have to like move the camera back and forth. So unfortunately, it doesn't quite work. Where's your invite? You don't get an invite, Kevin. All right, I think we'll just leave it like this. We'll just have it in both corners. Maybe I'll put myself in the top left corner, actually.
Isn't bad.
And then we'll put you in the top right corner. Because the defense attorney is typically on the left side, and then the oh my gosh, we gotta hide that. And then the thanks for subbing again, Matt, as you're literally on stream. We'll have to cover like this, I think. And then we shorten this.
Then when we have like lives,
Okay.
it's gonna be covered, right?
What do you
Who
mean when we
cares?
have?
We just save scum anyways.
Oh, that's true. We'll have like. Oh man, this is so annoying. Oh my gosh. This.
Just green screen us.
No.
Actually, I think this looks fine. Honestly, top
I
left,
think
top
it looks fine. I'm just mostly worried about covering information. So we might just like move you guys down slightly. We'll figure it out. We'll see what's getting covered. Thank you for cheering with 1 bit. Tremblay. Also, congratulations on being first, Matt. Okay, so let's go ahead. Go for it. Let's see. So the camera's up. We need to move the camera down so it doesn't get in the way of the alerts. The camera should be below alerts. There we go. And there, we should be good. Okay, can't believe you covered the stream alerts. Poor layering a stream. It's because I pasted Matt's camera, and when it pastes, it goes automatically to the top of the views. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, Kazuma asked, what was even happening last time? What did we leave off on?
Can't take that.
And now they're busy talking over there, all right?
Sorry, what?
No, what did we leave off on last time? What happened?
Are you all set up? Is it finally over?
I mean, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where we left off. I can't give you a recap.
All right, great.
No, something about there was a.
Oh, we took a break to bring in someone. As usual.
All right, we'll figure it out. Let's just get into the game, I guess. Kazuma Asogi, I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie, but still.
Oh, what's his face was gonna die on the ship. And then we found him hiding in the trunk.
Yes, we did find Judge Uchigoku, yes, because he's worried about the Reaper coming to kill him.
And he's coming in. He's the one who's coming in that we're bringing in.
Okay, yeah, all right. All right, and then we saw Holmes was actually competent for once. Well, dual cam, yep. Driving there, it was too far for them to drive all the time, so we're just trying to speed up the process and keep doing this. So are you sharing both chats with them, or do they have chats open on their own, like peasants? They have chats open on their own. Why would I share chats with them? What? Now's a great time to gain to redeem a no save, right? Yes, this is a great game to redeem no save. I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie, but still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than what you're saying. Are you going to save right now, Sundown? Okay, I got you. Whoops, I skipped the skipped the dialogue already. I'm gonna save to skip dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what you skipped. Okay.
During the past 30 minutes, while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained.
We must accept the unfortunate conclusion. The Reaper has already done the deed.
I do think it's the last case, Point Nab. I'm not sure if we're on the 4th case or if we're on the last case still. It's all blends together.
There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict. Objection! What are you doing? Turning up our volume, Thomas?
I'm turning it down, actually. Maybe I turn up a smidgen.
You sit back. Just
Yeah, you don't need to lean in for your roles, Matt. Maybe don't lean that far back, but... No, the trial cannot end now.
Just sit regular.
You're Japanese, man! Ryunosuke! You know
Wow.
where to lay down your sword.
And you should know never to presume when the battle is won.
Zeus. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. And there can only be one conclusion, that the accused is guilty.
all relevant testimony. Far from it. There's still a crucial witness from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony.
In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel.
Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible. Quick, stall tactic.
Already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow.
Who on earth is this crucial witness?
Seishiro Jigoku, the very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper.
Oh, fetch.
Judge Jigoku! You found him! But the investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest that Jigoku is already dead. How? Oh my goodness, you find the man.
He was located in France during the recess at the port of Dunkirk. Thanks to one of Mr. Herlock Sholmes' famous deductions.
Herlock Sholmes.
Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Judge Jigoku, with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death. By the way, chat, let me know how the audio sounds. Because along with Prosecutor Asugi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grouse on the 31st of October.
Too much pointing.
Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to adjudication at this point.
The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered.
In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene the same hour tomorrow.
We just got back here, dude.
Yeah, clearly we should have saved in like 5 minutes, apparently, from last time.
I guess so.
No, my lord.
I need to know.
No objections, my lord.
Wow, Cosmo's ready for bed already. We just started. We live to fight another day, by the skin of our teeth. Okay, so I do believe this is... Yep, we literally just had to play 5 minutes last time. Literally had to play 5 minutes last time, and we would have...
That's wild.
We would have gone to the end. I don't think you need a save reminder here, Matt, considering we automatically have to save. But yes, to verify your question point now, we are on the last case. It does say final. Investigation, part 1.
No, but it could be final part 1, final part 2, the real final.
The unexpected halt of proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street. It's a turkey roast. They're having Christmas. We have returned, my dear fellows. Welcome back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help. Think nothing of it. I believe you've had even more wearing day than Ami Kotobai than I know. You're just now noticing there's a problem with my about section on Twitch? What's wrong? What's the problem? You could say that. We were on the brink of defeat in court earlier. So this prosecutor, Asugi, had you on the ropes, did he? And he's your best friend, you say? Well, he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Cosmo's changed.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
I mean, it's incredible to think that he'd even entertain the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin. Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me.
What's wrong with your about section?
That's what I'm wondering. That's what I asked Point Dab. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse. I'm missing a space and possibly punctuation between so and live. Okay, I'll fix it later. When all this started, almost a year ago now,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mr. Sholmstalzen told us the truth about what really happened back then, about the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie. Now that I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France.
Well, it is another country, Mr. Sholmes. So, what news of Judge Jigoku?
Matt, you want to take this, or?
We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have a lot of questions for the man.
Poor Professor Mikotoba. This must be quite a shock for him. Ah, yes. I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. What is it? Surely you haven't forgotten already. I put upon you for the matter only yesterday.
You put upon me, Sholmes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well.
Oh? You got the reply already?
What was so urgent though, Mr. Sholmes? Such matters can wait until later. I'm far too hungry for an involved conversation at present.
Well, that's good news, because supper is ready, everyone.
Ah, and what a feast it is! If I were none the wiser, I think the trial were won already. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak, and kidney pie. Yorkshire pudding.
Kidney pie sounds disgusting.
Yeah, I've never been for
Tomorrow could be
one.
a very long day, so eat up.
I've never been one for like entrails and organs.
Or is it like kidney bean?
You know,
No,
I'm pretty sure it's not. Pretty sure it's like a meat pie.
It's definitely meat kidney.
In that case, I think I'll seat myself just here. This place appears to be the only one set with a helping of pheasant as well. Was your redeem to make me do all the Sholmes hand motions? You want me to do all of them? Wow.
If you redeem the 10,000, I'm rich.
Wow, that's all it takes every time, eh?
Oh, sorry, Hurley, not there.
Huh? Why ever not? Are we set in places this evening? How many hires are you gonna redeem, Matt?
And that place is for Susie's daddy.
It's good to stay hydrated.
For me?
That's right. I made it especially for you, Professor Mickey.
I see. Oh, that's terribly kind of you.
It's a shame, really.
What do you mean?
Well, for a brief moment, I believed it. That Susie and I were half-sisters, I mean.
She's figured it all out.
Oh. Iris, do you mean? Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I secretly listened in to the conversation you had after I tricked you all into thinking I'd left.
What?
Oh my, the fall down.
Even if you redeem 10,000 points per nap, I will not be doing that one. The misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. But actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikotoba are Iris's father. Wait, neither of them? What? Who's her dad? Yes, about that, Iris. You know I.
Yeah, Sholmes is the father.
Wow.
No. You can't tell me at the moment.
Dude, that's big brain. You, like, convince your own kid
Iris.
that you're not their father? But then you raise them as their father? Wow.
The pheasant is by way of an apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping.
But then what if they want to go find their real father? Like, you have to, like, go set everything up. Like, they have to go, you have to, like, go set up some, like, fake leads.
No, you set it up, and then you get them to go somewhere, and then you're just there.
Wow.
I should have told you this long ago. I wasn't ready to be a father.
Oh, no, that's quite all right.
Then why don't I get any apologetic pheasant? So who is Iris's father? Who do we know that could possibly look like Iris? No, not this. Van Zeeks? No. Stronghearts? Do they have similar eyes?
It's Van Zeeks.
No, their eyes are different. I don't know.
Van Zeeks' eyes, though.
They're very different too.
No,
Obviously, no one
Sholmes.
shares.
I
No one
think
shares the pink
Sholmes.
hair color. You think Sholmes?
But who's the wife? The wife could have the green blue
It's true.
eyes.
It's true. I'm just saying. Like, I was hoping there's like a hint somewhere from the characters we know. I suppose that's not something we'll be finding out today.
But then again, not like Su Oh my god, what's her name? Susato. She doesn't look like Mikoto ba.
It's true.
So
Does she not?
not really.
You're right.
Not at all.
You're right. Well,
I mean, kind of, but like not.
not
like,
really. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So then let us dine while our largely pheasantless plates are still piping hot.
A fine idea, Sholmes. It all looks absolutely delicious.
Eat as much as you like. There are always seconds.
This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial about that telegram from Japan and about Kazuma. I can't let this opportunity slip away. That doesn't look very. That doesn't look very comfortable. I gotta say.
I know.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Surely it's abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikotoba's refusal to share his pheasant with me. Nevertheless, I felt the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and took look on with hungry eyes. Ha!
Sorry, Hurley, but I cooked that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy.
Even though I've played the role of a father to you for far longer. Mr. Sholmes, could I discuss some things with you?
Oh my, the guilt trips.
Certainly, my dear fellow. I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation. No, he's just bipolar. It's fine. No doubt, you're hungry to learn more of my deep love of game. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. He's gonna become depressed again. You didn't look at me in that fashion. In what fashion? It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasant matters to discuss.
Oh my gosh.
Classic.
Do you think that joke actually works in, do you think that's a joke specifically written for English?
No, I
no way that
bet they
actually
retranslate. I bet they retranslated because I bet it probably wasn't even a pheasant. I bet who's to say it was a pheasant that they're eating? Right?
Yeah, there's no way that
It could have been a different bird entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, they also could. I don't know what the word for pheasant in Japanese is, and I don't know Japanese, so maybe it could have worked in some other capacity in similar sense, but I have no idea.
I'm looking it up.
Looking up what? What are you gonna look up?
How to pronounce pheasant and pleasant in Japanese?
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying like that. They might have done like a different word. Like it might have not been pleasant. Maybe it was like I don't know, nice or something. There's like some other word like a synonym for pleasant. Also, I just
pleasant's Tanoshi and pheasant's Kiji. There's no way.
Yeah, as I'm saying, maybe it was like a
different plan words that they.
Yeah, maybe they used something other than pleasant. You know, maybe they used pheasant, but then they used a synonym to pleasant that works. You know.
So this was definitely for English.
But yeah, I'm fairly certain this was localized. Yeah, a localized joke. So what was in the telegram you received back from Japan then? Ah, this! I thank my lucky stars it arrived in time. Record found as indicated. Duplicate follows. K. Asugi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. What? Those 4 names? We've come across the exact same list before.
Asashin.
They came up in that unforgettable case last spring. What appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be masking monumental intrigue, a plot that involved the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. In exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked, we deciphered a fragment of a message.
I forgot all this.
I remember this. I remember how we got a note. I forgot what case it was from. So Tobias Gregson, Kazuma Asagi, wait. Because it's Genshin. Don Wilson. The guy.
Asashin.
Oh, Asashin. Yeah, okay. But we didn't find the names until the case was over, and we never did get to the bottom of what they meant. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan. So, why are the names coming up again now?
Yes. Where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes?
I have here the message I had wired yesterday. Allow me to read it for you. Enter Judge Jigoku's office undetected and investigate telegram records. Expect to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago. List of 4 names. Need by tomorrow. Naruhodo.
I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature.
You asked Inspector Hasanaga
Oh my.
Hosonaga, yep.
to undertake such an onerous task for you?
And in my name, I wonder what guise he opted for this time. My dear fellows, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand.
Anyway, the list of names we found in Seishiro's office as Sholmes predicted.
So you mean that mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was?
It was sent to Judge Jigoku. He was the intended recipient.
I don't believe it.
But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signifies.
I did formulate a hypothesis about that. But without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Mr. Sholmes looks deadly serious for once. That tragedy we had to go through on the SS Buria, it was all for nothing. Kazuma wasn't dead at all. We were completely taken in by the lie you told us, your great detective's lie. I took no pleasure in deceiving you, however, at the time. All that concerned me was preventing that young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost. What? I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan.
His remains, you mean?
Precisely, Miss Susato, and then I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead.
Oh my. You mean...
The arrangement between our 2 countries was already in place. 1 university student lawyer and 1 judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asogi. I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least. Wait, do you mean to say that it was all in the aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why you... Think back, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not somebody who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England? Who wants to do
Who is
this? Hosonaga? I think?
I can do it.
Okay.
The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Department of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. In the light of Mr. Asagi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead.
My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is 1 liar, and the study tour can surely continue, surely.
Liar?
I said lawyer, don't worry about it.
And there is no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer.
The voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourselves another suitable lawyer. Lawyer, liar, what's the difference in this day and age? True. So you manipulated me. I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend. I don't believe it. Gaslit me.
It was all contrived. I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as murder. A woman was mistakenly arrested as the perpetrator. What do you suppose became of her?
You think we'll ever see the princess again? Think they're like actually important characters at all?
I don't know.
Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the
Why do you say
unfortunate.
that so bad?
What?
Subsequently?
Subsequently? It's Sholmes' accent, don't worry about it. And assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the foreign refuge she sought. I seem to remember Miss Susato and I had some rather strong words for her. Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure. I wonder if she made it to America then. Oh,
I'm afraid I cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why were you so determined to stop Cosmosama from reaching Britain?
the truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see.
Oh?
An omen that at this very moment in time is close at hand. An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is close at hand? We need to find out exactly what Mr. Sholmes knows.
Whoa. It didn't pop up, but it's something new.
Yeah, what?
Like pop up with omen at hand.
Yeah, that's what... Here, take this. There was no room for doubt with your instructions in the telegram, Mr. Sholmes. You were very clear that it was Judge Jigoku's office that should be searched, so... You obviously knew that that's where this list of names would be found.
Is he actually a genius and like put together this huge thing, do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole point is he literally axed them, right?
J. Wilson.
Because when he was with, Mikotoba, or what's his face? Yeah, Mikotoba, the older Mikotoba, he was pretty smart, right? Pretty sure he just axed them in front of Naruhodo.
That is true.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was a totally
weird.
competent detective. But
That
we
would be
only
kinda cool.
But we only learned of those 4 names just over 6 months ago now, and only because they appeared as the part of the top secret government communications that were leaked. That's true, yes. But at this time, you were unaware of the backgrounds. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that, approximately this time last year in fact, when you were both still in Japan. It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets, because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese governments. Wow, he's just actually a terrorist. You're perpetually doing what?
Gosh.
How? Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Herlock Sholmes when he has designs on knowing it.
Oh my, Mr. Sholmes! What a fabulous line!
Now 1 month after the list of 4 names was wired to the recipient Jigoku in Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partly correct and partly mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow.
Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us all you know. Tell us about these 4 names and the tragedy to which they're all somehow connected.
There we go. As I said, when I learnt of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names, because you see, there was someone else on the list who I believed to be recently deceased. What? Who? A-Shin. Wait. A-Shin, as it was transcribed in Japanese script. In actual fact, Miss Asashin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer well known among London's unsavory classes. Oh, I see. But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list.
And T. Gregson,
Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from Britain. Ah, so that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead. Exactly.
so you already knew who Cosmosama was, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh yes, Sholmes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I'd recounted many tales about Asogi to him in my letters, and the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course.
So, Dr. Wilson is dead then? I didn't know.
Oh, Iris.
I know he wasn't my daddy, but still, that's very sad. I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name,
Oh.
obviously, but
Oh, you got it.
we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you. No,
But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, doesn't completely tie in with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis.
a big hole, Mr. Naruhodo?
Ah, yes, you mean about Asashin, I presume.
Oh, of course.
Exactly, she wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan posing as a visiting student under the assumed name of Jizael Brett. I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow. What?
So she's dead now.
But yeah, she's actually dead now.
Oh.
Because she died during the case when she was getting taken to
Yeah.
the prison, and the
She died
photographer or the journalist killed her.
Whoa.
What, did you make?
Yeah, the guy.
I mean,
That was in the tent, right? When she was sitting in the tent.
yeah. Or like the hut thing, but... Wait, Matt, why are you saying whoa? We haven't discovered any new information yet.
I didn't realize what Jiza Brett's Asashin.
Yeah, that came up during the case.
Fetch, dude. I forgot.
I see. But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel.
Ah,
And upon hearing that startling revelation, that the hypothesis that I'd formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy. What? Topsy? Topsy hypothesis?
What the freak?
What do you mean when you say your top hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Sholmes? I had believed all 4 names on the list to be the names of victims. However, I was mistaken.
Very much so. Asashin was a killer. So this telegram is a list of both victims and
Oh!
oh.
So it's Asashin was gonna kill Kazuma, and Wilson was gonna kill Gregson? I don't know. Still a little
Or
confused.
maybe Asogi was gonna kill.
Yeah, still confused.
Wait. Okay.
You wanna go back to look at it?
Yeah, go back to look at it.
Whoops, wrong thing. Or
Maybe
Gregson was gonna kill
Asogi was
Wilson?
gonna kill Gregson, and Asashin was gonna kill Wilson.
You're saying Kazuma was gonna kill Gregson? I don't know, that doesn't sound right. Plus, those 2 are both in Japan, and I'm assuming both of these are supposed to be in London? No, maybe, I don't know. It's curious. Indeed, and it would seem that Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Her visiting student status being merely a front.
Which would, of course, explain why no motive could be determined for her actions.
So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asashin is because he was the target of the assassination. And forearmed with that knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list in a very different perspective. Wait, so you're actually right, Ivana. What do you mean? But does it not strike you there is another among the 4 who subsequently became a visiting student?
Oh, fact.
Wait, you mean? But of course, a name you only know too well. No way.
Wow.
You mean
Ivan,
Kazuma?
Crazy with it.
Oh.
He did say in court earlier today.
Yeah, he said I was supposed to kill them.
I accompany Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk!
In order to
In order
carry
to
out a
carry out the
mission. That's right.
Oh my, and the mission was
To murder him.
the assassination of the Mark.
Wow, he didn't even lie. He just told the truth.
But he says that he was doing it like faking to be the assassin. Like, he
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
actually
he
gonna
said
kill
he
him.
wasn't gonna actually kill, but what Sholmes is saying that he was there to actually kill Gregson, so we'll see. Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now. So Gregson was gonna try to kill was just gonna try to kill the victim that escaped the Reaper, and then Kaza was there to kill Gregson, is what they're saying. In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange. An assassin exchange? How could Cosmo possibly have gotten involved in something like that?
Imagine if it just kept on adding on.
Let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to visit to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. That would be an assassin exchange.
So to begin with, the British assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then the Japanese assassin is dispatched as a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange.
Wow, whole new meaning to foreign exchange students. But what on earth is the point?
Don't forget, Naruhodo, that the British assassin is least escaped conviction. Assassin at least escaped conviction. Thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction.
Ah, so basically they can get away with free murder. Oh yes. The question is, why was Assassin killed, I guess?
Maybe to stop her from assassinating someone? But she already did though, right? Because Wilson's already been killed.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
You want to keep reading
Such
him?
jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries.
The fact that it was brought into play suggests intervention at the very highest levels.
The highest levels.
Strong heart.
These murders were two sides of the same coin, linked not by the common motive but by contractual agreements. As such, they appeared utterly unrelated. Yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. That disassociation and the safeguarded diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot.
But wait a minute, Soul! If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Seishiro Jigoku at all. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson!
What? Cosmo was here for Gregson? So Judge Jigoku wasn't actually the mark.
Yes, that's exactly what it would mean. Wait, isn't that also what Kazuma had said? That he followed Gregson to kill Gregson, right?
No, he followed Gregson to pretend like he was gonna kill the person Gregson was trying to kill. Why would he say that he killed Gregson? He would just go to jail.
Yeah. But he probably did kill Gregson.
Yeah, no, that's what they're saying now. I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe.
Mr. Sholmes?
I told him of my fears and implored him to seek a transfer to an overseas position. Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow. Yes, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition. That he'd be transferring to the Paris police and taking Gina with him. But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last. This is too much to take in.
Do you think real life murders ever get this complicated?
Probably.
Well, I mean, this is like more of like a government assassin, right?
Yeah.
More than anything, like the government. I'm sure the government have hits out on people all the time.
Yeah.
In like other countries.
Not our country, though.
Not our country. Not
our country. Look at the camera and say it, Thomas. Not our country, right?
All right, let's keep going.
We're awesome. We're the best, right? I'm having a kid. Leave us alone.
Oh my. All right, everyone. That's quite enough of all that serious talk for one day. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time.
Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. What preparations?
Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel room now. This has certainly been a night to remember.
It is a little bit sad, though.
The most deadpan face from freaking Iris.
Also, Like, I know that it's, like, just background, but if he's like, alright, I'm leaving, and the pheasant hasn't been touched,
Yeah,
and it was cooked for him. Anyways. I mean, I like the idea of you being my daddy. That's kind of weird. Because then Susie would have been my big sister.
Don't worry about the delivery. There's nothing wrong with that line, obviously. I'm sorry, Iris. But we should stop going down this route.
Gosh.
I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I would be delighted to become your sister.
Well, she is still an orphan, right? They could adopt her.
What? Really? Oh, yes, without question. So, you'll teach me all the ways you know... Wait, all the ways you know to throw Runo to the floor? Yes, of course. It would be my pleasure.
You didn't have to agree quite so readily.
Oh, but wait a minute. If Susie's going to be my big sister... You could be my big brother if you want, Runo.
What are you applying there, huh? I mean, yes, of course. If you'll have me, I'll gladly be your brother. Well done, Iris. We must always be mindful of feelings. I've raised you so well. Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally.
Right. I'm going to work extra hard for tomorrow now, because it's for my big brother and sister.
What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what?
You'll just have to wait and see.
Oh. Bless me. Good luck in court tomorrow. I'm expecting
Bless
a
you.
sterling performance. Thank you. I'll do my very best, of course. Is that all there is for investigation day 1? So the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths whilst posing new conundrums. That list of 4 names on the telegram in Judge Jigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I felt as though I'd been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt sure I would see the light again soon.
What the?
Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world standing steadfastly behind me. When did we adopt these 2? I don't remember adopting Sholmes or whatever the old man we called
Are you kidding me?
But
What? Oh, to be continued.
Are you kidding me?
we finished the investigation.
That was way short. That was like an hour.
We cooked on an investigation for like 4.5 hours. It spanned 3 episodes. And this final investigation is like 20 minutes?
Well, that's investigation day 1, right? Because there's probably going to be, what, 3 days to the case, so there'll probably be an investigation day 2 and investigation day 3.
There better be.
Because we're probably going to have to investigate where the freezer is, and then we're probably going to have to investigate, like, the actual plot line that's happening behind the scenes.
Well, it's said to be continued. I think that's a good stopping.
Yeah, let's end it. I mean, yeah, but if you guys want to end, let me know.
No,
We wanna
no,
end.
what the freak, no.
Okay.
Ivana wants
I think
to-
Ivana has different
I'm just
thoughts.
tired. I'm just. I mean, I'm in my 3rd trimester, so I'm just uncomfortable and tired always. So.
I mean, yeah, if you guys ever want to stop, we can stop.
Do you want to end it?
I mean, I'd be okay ending it now.
Fast.
All right, I guess we're ending it now.
No, we don't have to.
But we can also go to like.
It's been less than an hour.
Yep, it has not even been an hour yet. You're right.
But since we're doing remote, we can do it more often. I feel like.
Oh
But,
my, we're really just gonna push this out.
but no, we can totally go for another 30 minutes or so.
All right, let's just keep going a little bit more, and then if it
Yeah.
does get to the end of the chapter, we can cut the middle of the chapter.
As with the closed trial 10 years ago, some astonishing facts have come to light in these proceedings. The revelation that the well-known Reaper is actually an organization illegally executing its own brand of justice. And the discovery that a respected yard inspector was at its heart until he himself perished in an assassination plot.
Until he peed himself perish.
Man, this guy stands up so much.
Well, I say to all members of the judiciary present,
on this occasion that we will stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth behind these disturbing findings.
Someone's redeeming stretch break for Strongheart.
Councils, you will undertake the trial with this resolve to bear the truth to the bitter end.
Resolve, yes, that's my intention.
Gotta fix it.
Yeah. There we go. My lord, if I may inquire.
The defendant may speak.
On what grounds is Kazuma Asugi permitted to continue in his role as prosecutor? He has admitted to colluding with the victim in a plot to assassinate an innocent man. He shouldn't be enjoying the privilege of freedom, let alone be leading the prosecution. Good point, honestly. I submitted a written petition to Lord Strongheart.
He said, please let me. I didn't. Your Honor, I did an oopsie daisy. Please let me.
I know I'm not from here, but let me. Requesting the judgment of my transgressions be delayed by 1 day.
Yes.
Yeah, that is really weird that Kazuma is.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't have any other lawyers in London, you know? Van Zeeks and Kazuma, that's it. They ran out.
None. I read that. In today's proceedings, I intend to expose everything. My whole life for the last 10 years has all been leading up to this one day.
It all started when I was a little baby. They gave me this sword. Kazuma.
Hydrate?
Whatever the outcome of this trial... Gotta make sure Thomas drinks his water.
Yep.
I give my word that I will accept whatever punishment is deemed appropriate, however severe. And I suggest you prepare yourself for the same, Reaper.
Kazuma is bristling with hostility today. I get the distinct impression we're heading to very dangerous territory.
Is that really even Kazuma-sama standing before us?
The clone.
As an extreme exception to normal practices, I have granted this prosecutor's request.
Aren't you like all about rules and stuff like that?
No.
The defense finds this acceptable, I presume. No. No!
Yes,
No.
my lord.
In that case, the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the hearing of Barak Van Six.
The defense is ready, my lord.
The prosecution is more than ready. No you, no me.
Very well then. This preamble has taken long enough. Prosecutor Asogi, begin.
Ready?
What
Go!
if it's a sock? As you wish, my lord. The prosecution calls the first witness to the stand. Bring Seishiro Jikoku into the courtroom.
At last then, we've reached the final battle. He's putting literally everything on the line now in order to get to the truth. Come on, Ryunosuke, it's time for that steely resolve, because this is going to test it to the limit.
Oh, he's looking hard. Witness, state your
Wait.
name and occupation for the court.
Okay, but what if Keisuke is just Kazuma's relative?
Oh, it
True.
was you who issued this, was it?
It's obviously Koriasugi with a K.
Your subpoena. I did what was necessary.
Well, look what the young man has become. I didn't think I'd see the day when you take that tone with me, I must say. The witness will ensure his responses are pertinent to the questions asked.
Guys are so scary.
My name is Seishiro Jigoku, a Supreme Court judge from the Empire of Japan.
16 years ago, this man came to London as a visiting student. 6 years later, he returned to Japan.
Wait, do you want one of us to be Jioku, considering you're gonna be
No.
Kazuma, the judge, and Van Zeeks?
I'm good.
I can be Jigoku.
No. You wanna be Jikoku? Your lowest
I'm just
voice
saying
possible.
I'm just saying you got 3 voices you're already handling, and they're pretty talkative.
Yeah, well, I don't care.
Okay, well,
I can do it.
anyway, keep going.
Just kidding. Ivana's gonna do Jigoku. As well as presiding over the Supreme Court, he is also currently Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Ministry of Magic.
I am, of course, fully aware of Mr. Jigoku in his preeminent roles. I invited him personally to the International Forensic Science Symposium as a representative of his country. I hear he also played a key role in the conclusion of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
It was a great honor to be involved in the negotiation. I put all into that treaty. I put my all into that treaty.
That's pretty good.
Judge Jigoku, I must ask.
Well, I never. Fancy the young murdering student turning up here of all places.
Hey, calm down. I only maybe almost considered committed 2 murders. You acquitted me yourself. And now I'm a practicing defense lawyer.
Yes, and full of self-importance like your friend across the courtroom, I see.
Fetch, why are you roasting us?
We just got that roastable face, you know? You came here to London by invitation to the International Forensic Science Symposium. But then, without informing anyone of your plans, you took flight to France.
Took flight? I'd have to object to that turn of phrase.
Then explain yourself. What exactly were the circumstances?
Well, I was somewhat expecting this, and I'm sorry to say,
It was a boat.
I declined to comment.
What?
Leaving the country prematurely when I was when I was an invited guest may be questionable etiquette. But my decision is unrelated to this case. I can't be bound to testify.
What the freak, dude?
Unrelated, you say?
He pleads the 5th, man.
I appreciate that a respected police inspector has been killed, for which I offer my condolences. However, being an alien,
Whoa,
I
whoa!
obviously never met the man, nor do I know the first thing about him.
That's
As
not his
such-
beard, those are his tentacles.
As such, I'm in no position to testify. It's as simple as that.
So you would run from all of this?
I beg your pardon?
This case is more far-reaching than the murder of Inspector Gregson. It has ties to another murder, a case that was tried in Japan almost a year ago now.
A year ago in Japan, the murder of Dr. John H. Wilson, you mean?
That's right, and you, Judge Jigoku, are at the heart of both cases. The defense has evidence to prove it.
Oh, sorry. Well, Ryunosuke, I see from the look in your eyes that you're resolved to carry this through to the very end, too. Let's see your evidence, then. Why does everyone just turn into an a-hole when they talk to us in court? Like, we're all friends and whatever, and we're happy, and then suddenly...
I plead the 5th. How dare you talk to me that way?
I mean,
Oh, okay. And then our best friend since childhood. Okay, let's see it, you Nipponese. Whoa, what's going on, huh?
Well, to be fair, the judge, we're not friends with the judge, you know, he's just a judge, man. It was a professional setting. With our best friend Cosmo over there, do we really know him? Like, we just found out he's maybe a murderer involved in a whole government murder plot. Like, do we really know Cosmo? I'm just gonna say,
if tomorrow, like, it turned out
Present.
that, like, you were implicated in,
Present.
like, serial killings,
Present.
I wouldn't suddenly be, like, treating you like,
Look, Thomas. Oh yeah, that
streamer, pretending like I hadn't just been subbed to you for 4 months, pretend like I know how this whole relationship. I'd be like, dang, dude, Thomas, you're still my friend. I don't know, you know. It's like,
but do you really know me?
Thomas,
But at the same time,
no.
if I was suddenly turned out to be a serial murderer, like, do you really know me anymore? You know?
yeah.
Really? You would say that? I don't
I
know.
just don't know all of you, but it's like, okay, suddenly, like, oh yeah, all of your mannerisms, all the memories you have together, suddenly those are all fake. No.
Fair. All right.
But maybe
Well,
if you looked at me and you're like, it was all fake. I can't believe you fell for it, you Matthew. Then I'd be like, oh, it's off now. Like, maybe then I'd be all up in your grill, but
But even then, it would still be hard because you're like, but it was real for me, so I can't just treat you like this enemy all of a sudden. Like, it'd be hard.
Let's go ahead and present some evidence.
Thomas, no comment. Okay.
Well, you know what? Now we'll see when I turn out to be a serial murderer, I
Thomas
guess.
not uncomfortable. Uh-oh.
Well, no. What do you want me to say? I mean, it's
Are you a serial killer?
yes. Is that what you wanted to hear?
No.
All right, this is a telegram detailing a communication sent between Britain and Japan approximately 1 year ago. The communication contained 4 names: K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, and J. Wilson.
You.
Oh.
Oh yeah. You little.
Honestly, I actually
Where did
expected
you
him to
get
just
that?
break. I just expected him to break the thing.
I know.
In Tokyo, from your office, Judge Jigoku, I stole it.
Oh, what? How on earth did you?
What's this all about? Why is my name on that list?
This list of 4 names follows a certain pattern. T. Gregson and J. Wilson are the names of victims. K. Asogi and A. Shin are the names of assassins.
No.
What the heck?
Wow, we're just bringing it right out. A year ago in Tokyo, Dr. John H. Wilson's life was taken in a Western-style restaurant in the capital, because the style of restaurant is important.
Yes.
The culprit was found to be a visiting student who went by the name of Giselle Brett, but her real name was Asa Shin, a professional killer sent on a mission to kill from Great Britain. Ah yes, Shin, the most English of names.
Yeah.
A. Shin and her victim, J. Wilson.
And the murder that just took place here in London was the counterpart to the crime. An assassin sent from Japan, also a visiting student, Kazuma Asogi, whose victim was the British police inspector Tobias Gregson.
A. Asogi and T. Gregson. One assassin from each country to kill a target residing in the other.
What exactly is the defense suggesting?
You know what I'm suggesting. These 2 cases of murder, one that took place in Britain and one in Japan, were masterminded by a pair of individuals from each country as a form of assassin exchange. You know how insane this sounds right now, honestly?
Yep.
This sounds actually so off the rails bonkers.
Out of all the stuff that we say when like, this is stupid, that doesn't make sense. Like, we actually have like the most solid evidence. It makes perfect sense. This is the one where it's like the most shaky and everyone's just like eating it up.
Well, I don't know if
This is
everyone's
crazy.
eating it up. They're definitely gonna be like, present evidence. This is bullcrap. It's definitely
let's
gonna happen. Assassin exchange, that's right, Hannah. And the telegram the defense has acquired is proof of this international contract to kill.
Hello.
What?
Close court. Everyone's talking.
The telegram was found in your office, Judge Shigoku. In other words, the mastermind in Japan was you.
It's on the screen.
I know.
Judge Jigoku, what's this all about?
And you, Kazuma, you lied.
Wait, that means that the first case where Judge Jigoku was trying to F with us and trying to get us put in prison, he knew the whole time. That's kind of scuffed, dude.
Yeah, but it's a government secret, you know?
That's still scuffed.
Well, that's probably why they're working with Jigoku, because he's the one in position of power.
It's one thing to end another person's life, but then to just needlessly like ruin another person's life as well. That's just.
You think they're
crazy.
gonna draw the line at ending one person's life? They're like, oh, we
Well,
killed
yeah,
one
because They're
person.
invested with that person, but then for an unrelated person, just like, yeah, let's just wreck this unrelated person's life for no reason. That's like. Look, I'll be honest. This may be a spicy take, but just because they're murdering someone. Okay, hold on. You have to let me cook on this. Just because someone murders is like, I'm murdering this other person, I don't think necessarily means they're a person.
Oh my gosh. No.
But also think about it this way, Matt. Maybe
But
they
them
actually.
deliberately doing that to someone who they don't care about, who's unrelated to them, that does make them a bad person.
But think about it this way: think of the people in the court that day. They had Kazuma, they had Judge Jigoku, and they had some random unrelated guy in the court. Maybe they
And also-
always planned on having Naruhodo be acquitted because Assassin had always had the diplomatic immunity. So maybe they
Also-
always planned to like accuse like the assassin of the murder. Sorry, Ivana, you can go now.
You're good. I was gonna say also, murdering someone affects a lot of innocent people that are not related. So yes, I think murdering someone
Okay.
to murder them makes you a bad person.
Okay. Obviously, murdering someone's bad. All I'm saying is that, like, there's like ethics to this stuff, dude. It's
Dude,
like
I'm just saying like maybe they planned it all. Oh, they planned to get Naruhodo acquitted in the first place.
yeah, because like okay, so it's not a good thing to murder someone, but like, why are they murdering that person for like usually if you're out to murder someone, it's like okay, you better have like a really good reason for it, right?
Well, it sounds like it was for government reasons, right?
But-
It sounds like it was for
I'm not talking about
diplomatic
people, I'm
reasons.
talking about this specific situation where I'm sure if it's a government cover-up and they're planning on doing this and it's a switch, there's got to be a really good reason for it. But then to on top of that, not have a really good reason at all to try and mess with someone else's life. That's where I'm like, okay, that's like way more scuffed than just like, all right, yeah, let's go murder this dude. Because like, okay, technically when we went and killed Osama bin Laden, that's murder. But like that was accepted
Well,
and
'cause
like
he was a
celebrated
bad-
in our country.
Because he was a bad person.
That's what I'm saying though. So it's not necessarily the murder that's bad, but I'm saying the complete destruction of someone else's life who's completely unrelated. That is like way more scuffed than like the government trying to murder someone in a different country, because we've literally celebrated that and find that okay. I'm just saying, let's figure out the details of the case, because maybe it's not justified.
But like if it's like how I pointed out, and then Naruhodo was never meant to go to jail, like does it matter? So this is becoming an out of context short? Probably not. Anyway,
Anyways, let's move on.
Okay, well, sorry for talking.
but the mark wasn't Judge Jigoku at all. No, I mean nothing wrong with that. These are the fun moments on stream. If they're just here to watch a playthrough, you know, they can watch anyone. It was T. Gregson, Detective Inspector of Scotland Yard.
Remember that one dude streaming here who didn't even read it and just went beep 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 beep, just skipped all of them super fast? That's crazy.
Crazy. As shown by the name on the killing contract.
Very impressive, Ryunosuke. But actually, I didn't lie. The name of the target I was ordered to kill never passed my lips yesterday.
Yeah.
The idea that Seishiro Jigoku was the mark came entirely from you.
You deliberately avoided saying a name.
The defense claims these four names indicate some sort of international assassin exchange.
Who puts their real name on a killing contract? No, it's not. It's not. Maybe it's not a contract.
I'm
And if
sure
it's a
I
government
speak
contract,
present when I say that the very idea seems utterly absurd.
they think it's utterly absurd.
Well, Mr. Jigoku, what do you have to say for yourself?
It's because it's a government contract, Hannah. It's not just random killing murders. It's not like someone's just hiring stuttering.
Amateurs.
It's not like someone's
Yeah,
just
I've done this
hiring
before.
something. It's for government purposes. His silence only goes to prove his guilt.
There's another very important point that this new development brings to light. There's now a distinct possibility that the scene of Inspector Gregson's actual murder was in the witness's cabin aboard the SS Grouse.
Judge Jigoku, you have to testify now. To refuse will put you into contempt of court.
There's no need for quite such a vicious stare, young man.
Very well then. As a parting gift to you all, I'll tell you everything I know.
It seems this Japanese gentleman has information that the court must hear. About the alleged assassin exchange and the events of the night of the 31st October. Present your formal testimony now.
As you wish, my lord.
All good?
It's true that Kazuma Asogi was assigned the assassination mission 1 year ago now. The target was Inspector T. Gregson. That was a condition of the British study tour. However, in the end, something happened that meant the young man was unable to carry out his mission. On the evening in question, a member of the crew was on duty outside my cabin at all times. If there'd been a shot fired, the crewman would have heard it, so clearly I can't be involved.
What? He just admitted.
So you admit it then, as this communication suggests, there really was an assassin exchange arrangement between Britain and Japan.
A political endeavor at the highest levels, not something I can discuss here.
To use such a worthy practice as foreign study to coerce somebody to commit murder. It's the most appalling thing I've ever heard.
Appalling? Well, it's easy to judge.
Pardon?
Asogi had a reason for taking his sword, that British inspector, you know.
What?
Which is why he accepted the mission in the first place.
Isn't that right, Counsel? Asuma-sama.
Judge Jigoku, if you are the mastermind behind this operation in Japan, then tell the court the identity of your counterpart in Britain.
I'm not obliged to divulge that information.
As I said yesterday, I've killed nobody. I freely admit that I accepted the mission, but on the night the plan was to be executed, I backed out. In short, the assassin exchange that the defense has identified is unrelated to the events of this case.
The crucial point is this. Your police inspector can't have perished aboard that steamship in Dunkirk. Because if he'd been shot in the cabin, it's inconceivable that a member of the crew wouldn't have heard it.
That's right. Gregson was killed after returning to London, in the room on Fresno Street. Dude, freaking lying through your teeth, brother. And the perpetrator of the crime was the Reaper, Barok Van Seeks. Bro, this sucks, dude. I don't even like this case anymore. The prosecution's accusation remains unchanged.
But think how good it's gonna feel once you break it wide open.
To think that a seemingly innocent foreign exchange program was a facade for such Machiavellian dealings. Clearly, it's a plot only a government minister and high-ranking judge such as the witness could hope to execute.
Well, I seem to recall that it was someone on British side who controlled everything.
Oh, could it be Strongheart?
Oh, Fed.
Be that as it may,
Oh, Fed.
it is not the place of this court to pursue this villainous assassination plot. We are concerned only with the tangible events pertaining to the murder of Inspector Gregson.
Now he switches it. He was all interested in the
Is the
exchange
defense clear on that point, counsel?
before.
Yes, my lord. I'll keep that in mind as I cross-examine the witness. All right, so many things to juggle, and we have to worry about like only a third of them.
Wow.
Let's see.
Oh.
I guess we'll press what we can. A year ago, when Cosmo was still in Japan, then.
Correct. It was at the examination center for applicants for the study tour that I approached him.
I'll never forget it. I remember exactly what you said. You just came out and asked me forthright if I'd consider traveling to Britain on an assassination.
What the heck?
It's really not.
I thought it was a joke at first, of course, but then
He pulled out the briefcase of money.
it was made clear to me that if I didn't accept, I wouldn't be considered for the study tour.
Oh no, I can't study if I don't go murder someone. So you agreed to it just for that? I mean, I know how much you wanted to study in England, but assassination?
The Empire of Japan had accepted a proposal from the British Empire at the time. an agreement to send a student from each country to the others to deepen cultural understanding and friendship.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, the chosen students were to be given assassination missions.
This is a very anime-esque plot.
I had no choice but to accept the proposal that originated from my British counterpart.
And this is basically an anime-esque game.
Why? Why didn't you expose the plot there and then?
Britain acknowledges no part in these alleged misbegotten dealings. I advise you not to make spurious allegations, Foreign Minister Jikoku.
Foreign minister.
As a witness, I am bound to tell the truth, my lord.
Anyway, I picked Asoki and explained the details of the plan to him.
Press it.
Why Cosmo? Why did you pick him as the assassin?
He was the most capable of all the applicants, and in addition,
He carries around a sword at all times, literally, and somehow gets away with carrying around the murder weapon.
I knew his desire to travel to Britain was very strong. In fact, it was almost more than a desire. It was his whole purpose in life.
Yes, as his best friend, I can certainly attest to that. The way he threw himself into his studies, the way he pursued becoming qualified as a lawyer. It was all ultimately for that one single goal of being accepted on a study tour to Britain.
And of course, we know the reason behind that. He was determined to find out for himself the truth about his father, Genshin Asogi.
There's nothing I wouldn't have done to get here. Be that agreeing to assume the role of an assassin, or betraying people's trust.
Well, you certainly did a fine job of betraying mine, Asogi.
But why was Inspector Gregson the target?
I have no idea. Those were the orders from Britain. I was in no position to question.
You have no idea, really. I find that hard to believe.
Oh, do you?
Judge Jikoku was once a visiting student here in Britain himself, of course. Perhaps he has some connection with Inspector Gregson from that time.
The
defense really ought to catch up
with what?
with the fact that the assassin exchange has absolutely nothing to do with the case under scrutiny here. Yes, I've already admitted to recruiting Asoki.
Yes, in fact, I recruited him to murder the person who's murdered. Has no pertaining to this case at all.
Shut up, dude. Come on. Stupid statement.
Outside your cabin in the first class area of the SS Grouse, you mean?
Yes, that's right. Not least because there was a murder of a student passenger earlier in the year, I imagine. The liner operators have taken to posting a crewman outside every first-class cabin door.
I can confirm the presence of the crewman guard myself.
Yeah, but you killed him and then you shot him. And didn't we already say that he was shot after the fact because of the pooling of the blood didn't match up? What?
Did we? I don't remember that.
I swear that was a plot point.
I honestly don't remember. What do you mean?
Because I accompanied Inspector Grayson to Dunkirk that night, I witnessed it with my own eyes. There was a well-built crewman standing guard directly in front of the door to the witness cabin.
Who then got called away, brother, with an alarm blaring.
At that particular time, of course, I'd gone to the ship's dining room for dinner.
You were hiding in a suitcase, my guy. I hate this everything. The inspector and I asked the crewman to allow us into the cabin while we waited for Judge Chikoku's return.
Well, to be fair, he was hiding a suitcase way after the fact, right? Because this is way
is that
after.
what it was?
Yeah, we found them in the suitcase. Well, Sherlock Holmes found them in the suitcase, like, just barely. Like,
Yeah,
that's very
normal
recent.
behavior.
I suppose Inspector Gregson was in his capacity as the Reaper. He was intending to take the witness's life.
Exactly. As I've said numerous times now, I had no intention of killing anyone.
So the crewman who let two potential assassins into the cabin he was supposed to be guarding. Not the most convincing of sentries, really.
In truth, those were my thoughts too. But anyway, I stayed stuck with Inspector Gregson for a short while. That's a good point. Anyways, and then I left him there and made my way off the ship alone.
Good question. Next question.
That's
Was
a
the guard
great
still
question.
at the door when you
Anyway.
left?
That's a really good point.
Moving on. Yes, he glared at me as I walked past.
You see? That proves it.
Yeah, you see that stupid statement that's unrelated? Proof.
The crewman was standing directly outside your cabin door, you mean?
That's right. A muscular man with a permanent grin expression on his face. He didn't once move from that spot. To be honest, I thought he was a miserable fellow. But as it happens, he's a vital witness now.
There's no doubt that Gregson was killed by a gunshot. Yes, there is. And it's inconceivable that a crewman standing just outside the cabin door wouldn't have heard it.
But wait, what about the ship's enormous steam engines? The noise of them could have drowned out the sound of the gun being fired.
Also, a silencer?
Yeah.
Maybe they haven't invented silencers back then.
Bro, you literally just put a cloth or a towel in front of it. Haven't you seen John Wick, bro? It's clearly reality.
Sadly, young judicial assistant that won't wash.
Oh, I think it's a pillow, actually. He takes a pillow and...
Oh, yeah, pillow.
Oh?
You will recall that my cabin was in the first class area of the ship,
Also, hold on.
which is also, of course, the quietest.
Well, while you're looking
Gun
things up.
silencers were invented in 1902. Photography was... Oh, F.
What were you...
Well, when does this take place, huh? 1902, there's gun silencers.
When does
This is
Great
the
Ace
the
Attorney take
1900s
place?
for sure.
When did it take place?
It's 100%.
It's known towards the
1900s.
end of the 19th century.
Oh, what? Oh, so it's like 1890 something?
So it's 18 at the dawn of the 20th century. So it's the 18s to late 1800s to the early 1900s.
Yeah,
So
well,
it-
1902, gun silencer.
Well, if it's the end of the 19th century, that's still the 1800s. So it's possible that it might not have invented yet. And also, silencers don't actually make guns silent. In fact, they're still very loud. There you go. Point Nab himself. Yeah, they're not like movies. They're not just like pew pew. That's not the only sound it makes.
Are you gonna look up a...
Think about putting a pillow on a gun. How much do you think that's actually gonna muffle the sound? Think about what John Wick did. How effective do you think this is?
These are from movies.
I give up. It's too much research to do in the middle of it.
Yeah.
All right, well, Ivana, if you want to keep reading for now in the meanwhile.
Okay.
Don't imagine for a moment that it's anything like steerage where the judicial assistants go.
I didn't mean...
Wow, he just like shamed me for being poor. He just shamed Susato for being poor. What the heck?
Yikes.
But a hole like that, made by a bullet, was found in your cabin, Judge Jigoku. That's a compelling evidence that a gun was fired in there.
What's that? A bullet hole?
Oh, yes. You're talking about what the detective uncovered in the wall yesterday, I presume? That was obviously a rotten panel eaten out by woodworm. No doubt he didn't find an actual bullet.
Ugh, that's the hole in this argument.
Sadly, I was unable to arrange for the crewmen to be brought back to Britain with me. But obviously, if a gun had been fired in my cabin on the night in question as the defense implies, I would have been arrested on the spot, and would never have made it to Britain in the first place.
Hold on, his defense, hold on. His defense literally was, if I committed the crime, I would have been arrested way earlier. His defense also is, there just happened to be a bullet hole in my cabin? Obviously, it was just a worm that ate the wood out. I'm sorry, this guy's a joke. And then those don't require any evidence and non-speculative of either of those dog water claims?
No. Let's look.
Very true.
See?
Freaking old men.
The witness's logic is sound.
The witness's logic is
boomers.
sound. Do you hear what Strongart's saying? It's sound. The logic's sound, man.
The witness's logic is sound. Yeah, okay. I don't even want to read it. I don't.
Since no gunshot was heard from the witness's cabin on the night in question, sir.
We must assume. Yeah, we must assume. You hear
And
that?
yet, they're not even
We must assume that
Bring in
witness
any
is
other
telling the
witnesses.
truth. Even though we have a piece of paper that was found in his compartment and he admitted to doing an assassination deal with the person who was murdered, with the assassin who was in the thing, and there's a bullet hole, but because there was no sound from only his testimony,
Exactly.
which he's the one implicated in the crime, the logic is sound.
I will say yes. They should technically bring in like a crewman to verify this.
Dumb, dude. I could write a better script than this.
That's why your next game's a VN, right?
Yeah.
That's why his next line
Actually,
is hee hee hee.
my next game is a
I'm glad you've seen sense, my lord.
roguelike deck builder. Yeah, what the freak is what's going on here?
I know Cosmos already admitted to taking on this incredible assassination plot, but even so, hearing it confirmed by somebody else is still a real shock.
It's unforgivable. I'm okay. Using Cosmo-sama's feelings to manipulate him into agreeing to such a despicable plan.
But I think Cosmo manipulated Judge Jigoku too. He completely double-crossed him.
Oh dear, it's hard not to see that as a stroke of brilliance on Cosmo-sama's part.
One way or another though, Gregson ended up dead. I really think that the murder must have happened aboard the steamship.
So you mean...
Judge Jigoku must be lying. Oh.
must destroy him.
Okay, yep.
I know I shouldn't let my emotions
Cloud my judgment.
cloud my judgment, but we must destroy...
Must
His-
destroy him. No?
Did she say him?
Must destroy him, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Okay, well, let's press this. I never pressed this the first
Get
time.
ahead of me, but we must destroy
I
him.
presume you're referring to the incident that occurred during Cosmos' passage in Britain to January.
Hold on, wait, I gotta bring this up. I know it derails us. But that reaction from Susanto just reminds me of like the classic like religious or whatever like Mormon or Christian when you're in the car. Like I was with my technician today and we're driving in the car and like super hesitant, like no swear words, right? Like no swearing, that's off the table. But then like we're driving, someone cuts him off and he's like,
I hope your dick withers off and falls off and that you don't have posterity in your children.
and I'm like, that's like way worse to me than just dropping the F word, dude. I told him that. I was like, honestly, like,
I wouldn't say that all Christians or Mormons...
no, I just meant like someone who holds those like, oh, I can't swear, like that conservative belief of like, but then it's like, you're in the car with them,
I hope you get in a crash and you die.
and it's like, I think it would have just been better and less like mean if you just said like, shiz. I don't know.
Well, you gotta get it out somehow, man.
Anyways.
They're standing by their beliefs, you know, good for
We have to
them.
destroy him.
The awful tragedy that took place on the steamship.
Word arrived at the ministry of magic, some 2 weeks after the ship's departure from our shores.
Wow, are we gonna hear that every time they say ministry?
Absolutely. What actually does ministry apply to?
The ministry.
Is it like how you say British? Isn't it British Parliament?
Well, he was saying
The
the ministry in like Hong Kong or in Japan.
All right.
The visiting student had been killed, but his body had somehow gone missing in Hong Kong. The news was wired to me from a detective I'd placed on a ship to accompany the assassin.
Obviously, Cosmo didn't actually die at all. But he did lose his memory, including all details about his special mission.
Or did he?
Did you not consider dispatching another assassin at that point?
That wasn't possible, simply because that black-clad young student over there had already put himself forward as Asugi's replacement. And there was no way to stop him from reaching Britain.
Ah,
My hands were completely tied.
So Mr. Sholmes' strategy worked perfectly.
he predicted everything that would happen.
Months later, my memory returned. But I never intended to go through with the assassination mission anyway. Convenient.
Yeah. So you were playing me right from the outset, were you? Is that it?
I'd sooner be guilty of that crime than of taking someone else's life. I was prepared to do whatever I had to in order to get myself here to Britain.
This line of questioning has gone on long enough. All the court should be concerned about in the testimony given by this witness are details relating to his relationship with Inspector Gregson and the victim's murder.
In that case, as I've already made perfectly clear, I had no intent. I had no connection to the man or his death.
Why is he even here?
And you have some means of substantiating this plea.
Because we said that this guy has something for us, so we've dragged him in. We literally found him,
That's true.
had a
He didn't wanna be
subpoena.
part.
They
Well,
had
'cause I
we had a
guess-
subpoena just to bring him in.
Yeah, and I guess that's true because Asugi had said that like Jigoku was murdered or something, or someone had said that he was murdered. So we're
So
like,
that they're going to set the Homon's going to kill him because he's part of the Reaper case. But yeah. All right, well that's all the things pressed. Now what should we present?
what are we trying to? What are we? Is it something that contradicts it or something or what?
We have to find a contradiction. Yes.
Okay.
So I think this is it. First of all.
Yeah, so when they all
Sorry.
evacuate, he can shoot.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna
Yep.
present that. Let's see. At all
Yeah.
times. Yep, be presented right here. Perfect.
Right?
Perfect. Boom, baby.
Yes, as the court has heard, there was a crewman posted outside Judge Jigoku's cabin. However, we can be sure that contrary to the witness's claim, the guard wasn't there at all times.
Like real quick.
What?
I have here a notice of a particular event that was scheduled to take place aboard the steamship on the 31st.
What? Where did you get that?
It's evidence gathered by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. You were acquainted yesterday, if you remember.
Herlock Sholmes again.
According to this itinerary, after leaving the port of Dunkirk at exactly 10 p.m. and for a period of 20 minutes, all crewmen of the SS Grouse were gathered on deck for an evacuation drill.
All crewmen were away from their posts.
And during that 20-minute interval, of course, any gunshots emanating from your cabin would have been heard by no one.
You're like so mad there.
In summary, Judge Jigoku, you had an ample opportunity to commit the crime.
Ah,
Objection!
20-minute window of opportunity. That's an excellent find, Brunovsky.
What happened to Kazuma?
but it amounts to nothing.
Why?
Because the witness clearly stated in his testimony that no incident.
Because I said so! He said he didn't do it! Duh!
Next one, dude. This pissed me off.
Unless you have some decisive evidence that can show his testimony to be false.
Yeah, what?
You gonna read the line?
I don't.
Just read it. Just read it.
I can actually.
Read it in your stupid voice.
Physical. Like I am like actually getting upset.
Read it in your stupid voice.
Your
Hey, this is how
accusation is nothing more than conjecture.
This is how the game has always been, to be fair.
No, this is brain dead. The other ones have been like silly. This is brain dead. This is
Maybe it gets better. Just let it happen.
very true.
Because this is how the game has always been, man. It's always on the defense to prove everything.
Well, it counts.
We just did.
Keep going.
Prove
keep
what?
going,
Wait, what do we
let's go.
prove?
Let's get through this.
All we do is prove that there was the crewmates away. What do you mean? What do you mean we just did? What do we prove, Matt?
We literally showed. Hey, there's a window. Your statement was we couldn't have shot him because someone would have heard. We showed how there was a window where you totally could have shot him and no one could have heard. We have refuted your claim. So now we're back to the original claim.
Inspector Gregson was killed in Judge Jigoku's cabin that night. I'm certain of it. Because the defense has evidence to prove it.
We will present the evidence for the defense at once, counsel.
The whole point is, you know, they gotta hit these beats. They gotta have you solve the puzzle.
No, you know what? I'll present my defense. My defense is that he did, and I said it.
Oh my gosh, you're right, that's irrefutable.
Hey, they gotta have the game aspect in there somehow. If they could have just been like, hey, everything you say in the court of law is accurate, there'd never be no game to this.
Yeah, how do we prove it, huh?
That is a good question.
Sword? Does something have blood on it?
I don't know. Actually, I have no idea. You see these little things all over the place, don't you? It's the parts of the top of a pocket watch that you twist to set the time. Oh.
It's called the crown, I believe. A watch would be quite useless without one.
The crown, like what sits on top of a monarch's head. It's a very grand name for such a tiny part. But actually,
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo?
if this is a crown, I have a feeling I might have seen a monarch around here somewhere with a very bare head.
If by monarch you mean pocket watch, then I'm quite sure you have.
Also, someone pulled it out at the second of the murder. So it shows the exact timelines up as well. If you go to the watch, the broken watch that we have.
Yeah. Well, is that someone pulled it out?
Yeah. Gregson pulled it out as he was dying, maybe.
Oh, go in.
So that
right there.
it's like, this is the exact time I died, or whatever.
What do you think, Mrs. Sato?
I feel sure I know exactly what will fit here.
Really? I was just thinking the same thing.
We're about to see that the little round component
It's actually part of.
is
Oh my
actually
gosh.
part of Gregson's.
Pocket watch. Really? I was thinking precisely that too. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're actually doing this.
Together.
Gregson is dead. Gregson has been dead for like 5 streams, Hannah. Keep up.
Yep, he's dead.
A perfect fit.
I knew it.
Wait,
Alright,
and where
perhaps
did
you
we
knew
find that?
What, the
And we
pocket watch?
found that
The scene of the
in
crime.
cabin.
Yeah, no, this was at the cabin, and the pocket watch was at the scene of the or at the
Yep.
house place.
Yeah. I'll make a note of this information at once.
Okay, I
There
think
we
this
go.
is what we now present.
That's what we gotta present. Look at us. We're so good.
Present. Although it's new evidence, right? So it's gonna be at the very end.
Yeah, right there.
Judge Jigoku, this was found in your cabin yesterday.
What is that? The crown of a pocket watch.
A pocket watch?
And if you will observe, the victim's pocket watch, which we know he treasured, is missing precisely that part.
It can't be.
Moreover, this crown is a perfect fit on the spindles protruding from the victim's watch. Now, the fact that this was retrieved from Judge Jigoku's cabin tells us that the victim's watch almost certainly broke there. In other words, the victim was killed on the 31st during the 20-minute evacuation drill in the cabin occupied by you, Judge Jigoku.
Oh, fudge. Well, you're razor sharp, aren't you, you young murderer?
What?
Also, if you think about it, they just take our word for granted too, right? Because technically we could have found the crown anywhere. But they're taking our word that we found it there.
That's true.
But we can back ours up with the people who found it there, because wasn't it we were with other people? Like one of the detectives in Britain who we didn't know beforehand, so we can't. Like, there's no proof of like, oh, there's a special relationship because we literally met him here.
No, I think there's only Herlock Sholmes and stuff, right? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Herlock Sholmes.
was he even there though at the time though? I don't know. I have no idea.
Whatever.
Expertly maneuvered, Ryunosuke.
And your argument sounds entirely plausible. It did beforehand, stupid.
At first.
At first. But what you fail to address is that he said he didn't do it. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. That's my defense.
Keep going, babe. Come on.
But rather like this pocket watch, it's full of cracks.
What?
Very similar to your butt. It's cracked. And I believe Judge Jigoku feels the same way.
We're always going off script here.
I was wrong to acquit you early.
Jeez. Sorry.
If I'd known that it would result in anyone having to listen to this drivel.
You
I would've-
annoy me, so I should have illegally declared you guilty of murder and put you in jail.
I would have declared you guilty just to spare the world your ridiculous bombast.
I think it's clear that the witness will have to give further testimony.
When you hear what actually happened in my cabin that night, You'll notice the pitfall into which you've stumbled.
Can
Well, then why didn't you
shut up,
say it
dude?
before, huh?
Prior to your renewed testimony, I would like to clarify one point. The fact that this part of the victim's watch was discovered in your cabin means that you acknowledge he was there, I presume.
Yes, I do.
Very well, then. You may proceed to give your formal testimony about what exactly happened in your cabin aboard the ship on the evening of the 31st October.
Of course. As a man of the law, I have no intention of obstructing justice. I had a guest waiting for me when I returned to my cabin after finishing my evening meal in the dining room. When I walked through the door, a mustachioed Englishman was there, foolishly waving a gun at me. I soon took care of him with an... What the heck? Ipenseri throw, though. He couldn't wait to run away after that. I imagine his watch was broken when I threw him over my shoulder. It has nothing to do with his murder. The inspector was clearly killed having returned to Britain, because his body was found in London.
Iponsoi.
A common jujutsu martial arts technique in my country. I was careful not to use too much force, but the man obviously landed too heavily for his watch to take.
So, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I imagine you can see the flaw in your logic now, can't you?
What?
Bro. No, this is by far the dumbest one we've ever played.
The fact that the pocket watch was broken in the witness's cabin in no way proves that the victim's murder took place there. Nuh-uh.
Are you dumb or do you not see the flaw? Well, I don't see the inherent flaw at the very least.
I have no doubt the inspector intended to kill me, but he didn't manage to pull the trigger.
I think it's more that Matt is very much just trashing on the games.
Hold on, wait. Are you guys talking about me? You don't see the flaw?
No, no.
No, Hannah's saying that she doesn't see the
Am I
flaw
dumb or do I not see the flaw?
In what?
in what
in the
you just
testimony.
said.
Like she wants to know what
You see
like
the
the
flaw?
puzzle's answer.
He's like, I don't see the flaw.
Oh yeah, I know. There's no flaw. It's just stupid. He's literally just saying.
He's just Matt just
"Nuh-uh."
comes thinking on how stupid the game's based the story is basically right now.
Like, oh, Ryunosuke, you're failing my one piece of evidence. Nuh-uh.
We've literally done that 4 times, and then we provide more solid evidence.
That happens
and then-
every time in the game.
Nuh-uh. No, usually at least there's somewhat of something going on. This is literally just
Nuh-uh.
Let's just keep going. Let's get to the better part then.
you're just like, can we just end this game?
I don't want to just end it, but I just want to keep going. Like, let's continue.
Yes, because he was merely the tactician, not the Reaper's hand of death.
Well, the testimony appears
Keep going.
to make perfect sense as far as I can tell.
Jeez, we're gonna have to switch.
Express my deep gratitude for your understanding, my lord.
Jeez, we're gonna have to switch through your voicing if you're gonna take this many voice problems with your voice lines.
Bro, it's so hard. It's so dumb.
But if this testimony holds, Judge Jigoku will be deemed to have no involvement in the case.
Sorry, I just thought of something super dumb. It's like, no, I'm not gonna. Voicing a character that's like explicitly racist? Nah, no problems. I'll voice him. I'll make jokes. Character who lies? Or character who annoys me? Nope.
Not
Anyway.
just roasting yourself.
I know, that's why I was like, I just was thinking about it.
Well, counsel, I really see no reason for wasting precious court time here on a cross-examination.
He just called himself racist.
I did not call myself racist. I just think it's funny how this bugs me more than
Racism.
the Nipponese.
Sorry, my lord, the defense has a right to cross-examine, and I don't intend to squander that.
You also think that murdering someone is not as bad as just wrecking someone's life.
Just play devil's advocate, it was established
Never said
before
that.
that Gregson died in London. So the two
You're an
facts that the
embarrassment
pocket
to your
watch broke in the
country.
cabin and
Not
that there was
knowing when you're-
opportunity to shoot doesn't prove that he was killed in the cabin, is what Point Nap is saying.
Yeah.
Hold on. To play devil's advocate, it was established before that Grayson died in London. The 2 facts that the pickpocket watch was broken in the cabin and there was opportunity to shoot doesn't prove that he was killed in the cabin. No, but the fact that there's a bullet hole, that we have the time where there could have been a shot taking place, we proved from the coroner who examined his body that he probably died earlier.
He could
and was
have.
put somewhere else. We found a refrigerator, and we showed that happened.
Wait, we found a refrigerator?
And we showed that the coroner who inspected the body was tipped off to say that they shouldn't write down that they died earlier. And that
That's
they
true.
died that day.
I don't think we found a freezer though.
No,
What do you
in the
mean?
ships.
Yeah, we did in the ship.
Where?
Well, we didn't
I'm
find
just saying.
But he had said like, oh, so there's big, because they have like
Okay,
delicacy
sure.
foods.
I'm just saying there's no devil's advocate there. There's so much information stacked against them that the fact that like there's we never once established the fact that Gregson died in London. Literally from the very start, we were like, nah. And then we called in the girl who was like, yeah, he probably didn't die in London. And I got tipped off to say that he died here. That's witness tampering.
Well, all she said was does not specify that he could have died because there's no signs of any freezers around, because the idea was it would make sense because there's no freezers for the body's time of death to be off.
But then the food was frozen on him, right?
And she said that someone came in and she didn't want to write that he died that day because there was enough evidence that he didn't, but that she was told to.
But
It's
also
not that there wasn't
food.
enough evidence, it's that there was possibility that the death was delayed. But then
Oh no, I know.
Stronghearts.
I get the whole devil's advocate thing. I'm just
But
saying,
Strongheart was just saying that basically that since there's no freezers around, there's no need to say that there's the possibility of that the death was being the time of death was changed. Was what basically was being said. Either way.
There is a freezer on the ship.
Yeah, but the whole point was like the murder wasn't considered to have taken place on the ship at the time of the coroner reports.
I know, but she was like, oh, there's rotted food, and his body didn't rot yet, so it's obvious to me that he could have easily been moved here.
Yeah, she said that there is the possibility, but then Strongheart dismissed it because anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, see, Strongheart dismissed it because he's in on it.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay. Anyway, I think there's ample evidence to say that it's more likely that he died on the ship than
Yes,
he
definitely.
died in the whatever.
Yeah. You're an embarrassment to your countrymen, not knowing when you're beaten.
In that case, proceed, Mr. Naruhodo.
All right, now to see what the game actually wants us to do.
The game's legal system works on guilty until proven innocent, which means probable doubt isn't enough to change the ruling. Ace Attorney has a weird legal system.
That is true. That is how it works in the universe.
Even
Because everything falls on the lawyer, the defense lawyer.
wait, guilty until proven innocent?
Yeah, it's the opposite of how America works. Innocent until proven guilty.
But based on no evidence.
Interesting.
And we've submitted plausible evidence. Hold on. Which means probable doubt isn't enough to change the ruling? Probable doubt's enough to change rulings.
Don't look at me.
Unless you're saying that that's another rule in Ace Attorney games.
I think you said.
Which sure, but I'm just saying in an actual court of law, probable doubt is more than enough to clear someone. In fact, that's like how you take it to a jury is you say there's probable doubt that this didn't occur. And then the jury makes a decision based on. In real life, sure, Ace Attorney is nowhere near a real court of law. No, yeah, I know. Alright, we can move on. I'm sorry I let it bug me so much, everyone. It's a game. I'll move on.
Let's play the game.
Usually the game doesn't go this hard when it comes to freaking shenanigans.
Obviously, you're talking about Inspector Gregson.
Okay.
Yes, though at the time I didn't know the man's name. And there was no time for introductions. I value my life over manners.
By which you mean that the inspector was there to assassinate you, I suppose.
That was certainly the impression given by the gun pointing in my direction. But I've never seen the muzzle of a revolver shake about so much in all my life. Anyone would think the man had never shot somebody before.
Believe it or not, most of us haven't. Hello, Scarecrow. You weren't able to see the end of the other stream. Hopefully it's going well. No, the other stream was fun, and now this is going well too. Well, I mean, well for some of us. Maybe not as well for some others.
Anyway, there was no time to call for the help of my crewmen at the door, so I dealt with the man myself.
Hold it!
Even though the man had a gun, that was a very brave move, wasn't it?
My, I've been so he is far faster than a bullet, I can assure you.
But surely all that commotion caused the crewmen to come in, didn't it?
Huh? Yes, of course. He burst in immediately without knocking. The inspector hurled himself at the stocky fellow and just managed to slip past him to make his escape.
The outstanding guard does it again.
Luckily, there aren't many situations I can't get out of using a quick Ibn Sui throw. Am I saying that right?
I don't know.
No idea how to say it.
Ibn Sui.
Chop suey.
Ibn Sui.
Hold it!
I'm thinking, the crown snapped off and the glass covering of the face of the watch was cracked.
Preferable to the man's head being pulled off or his spine cracking, wouldn't you say? The heck?
Not that the man was spared for long, a bullet to the chest soon saw to that. But the point is, the broken pocket watch doesn't prove that a murder took place.
Absolutely not. All the watch proves is the power of my jujutsu throw.
Whatever you say, it doesn't quite ring true that no shot was fired in the cabin. Because there was an obvious bullet hole in the wall.
What are you talking about? That's what the star of your lowbrow detective stories told you, is it? Well, I don't care for such fiction. Haven't you worked it out yet, you little stripling? No murder took place in my cabin.
This will press everything for now. But there's no evidence that proves that the victim ever returned to London alive.
And only evidence to the contrary.
Just take a moment to think that idea of yours through now, stripling.
What?
If the inspector was killed on the steamship in France, how on earth could he have got back to Britain? When people die, their bodies remain at the same spot. It's a devil of a thing.
Well, then, obviously the culprit must have moved the body.
I'm losing.
How exactly? Carrying a corpse off a ship in your arms would raise a few eyebrows at least, don't you think? Yeah, but what about the suitcase you were hiding in?
Well, yes, that's true, but...
All passenger luggage is inspected when it is unloaded from arriving vessels. And I would like to think that border police would query the corpse of an English gentleman as hand luggage.
Yo, it's Weekend at Bernie's, but Weekend at Ace Attorney. You seen that?
Nope.
He's dead the whole time, but they dress him up to be.
Oh, I do know the movie. I do know of the movie.
Yeah. Anyways,
If the murder had taken place aboard the ship, you would imagine the body would have been disposed of at sea.
hide it in a barrel.
There we go, Hannah. There would be no sense in risking being caught by attempting to transport the body back to Britain.
Unless you want to frame someone.
Let's kill that idea then.
But perhaps not.
Mr. Sato?
We've heard that the first-class passengers were under constant scrutiny by the crewmen posted to guard them. Which would mean that the culprit had no opportunity to dispose of the body in the sea.
Yes, that's true. So transporting the body to Britain may have been the only viable alternative.
Dear me, you really are new to this, aren't you? I thought I'd been perfectly clear, but it seems I'm going to have to explain it in words you can understand. I think I ought to alter my testimony with your consent, of course, my lord.
I have no objection. State your amended testimony now.
So, I mean, yeah, he probably did put it in his case, honestly.
No possible way I could. Okay.
Yeah.
There's an idea. Think about
it, stripling. All passengers and crew disembarked at the same time and passed through the same checks at the border. The symposium guests were then driven straight to the hotel in carriages organized by the ministry. And we met you as soon as you arrived at the hotel.
So you did.
Well then, remind me. Did I have a corpse over my shoulder at the time?
What? No.
So we're in agreement then. I couldn't possibly have brought the inspector's body back to Britain. Haha. Unless, of course, they've developed some clever device these days to instantly move things from A to B.
Well, actually,
My.
funny you should say that.
Professor Harebrain's invention didn't actually work, if you remember, Mr. Nar.
Yes, of course.
The defense has become unusually quiet, I notice.
Yes, because there's really nothing more to say.
So that's his story.
Well, I suppose if you think about it, whenever you drop a teacup in the office and it breaks, we don't say, Mr. Naruhodo must have been murdered there, do we?
Is that a veiled threat about what might happen to me if I break another one?
And the fact is that Inspector Gregson's body was found in the little room on Fresno Street. If he really was killed in Judge Chikoku's cabin,
The body would have to have been moved somehow, obviously. Transporting a dead body over a country border, that would be impossible for the majority of people. So there must have been some special circumstances that made it possible for the culprit then.
could be a vital realization, I think, Mr. Naruhodo.
Okay, do we want to pause it, call it here?
Middle of the cross-examination?
Middle of the cross-examination.
Alright.
How much longer do you think is in the cross-examination?
Well, I mean, I would like to at least present an evidence, while
Yeah,
we're
sure, we'll-
while we're thinking about it,
Let's
so we
see,
don't forget.
why don't we figure this one out, then we can be done.
I'm assuming it's this, considering we changed the statement just barely. There's no possible way I could have transported the victim's corpse back to Britain.
Except through... maybe in the...
His trunk is not
in
one
the
of the pieces of
in
evidence.
the
It's not one of the
fridge.
pieces of evidences. There's no fridge. We've never seen a fridge, at the very least. Even if they are there on the ship. So there's no fridge as evidence.
But we have to present something right now.
Well, we do have to present something, I'm assuming. I guess I can press the first statement just to make sure we do need to present something. I haven't pressed the first statement.
Okay.
Because the so-called guards posted at your cabin door had just let your killer pass, you mean?
Apparently Gregson told the crewman he was a police inspector, which was the truth, of course.
He wouldn't have had his identification with him, though.
He had his trench coat and mustache, not to mention the bag of chips. I imagine the crewman was convinced.
That's all you need.
But the man accompanying him would have had 2 swords slung at his waist, around his waist.
You mean me?
I was about to say, Cosmo shouldn't have been there the whole time. Shouldn't he be a witness? Who else?
Yes, that's true. You would have hoped the sight of a few swords might have set off alarm bells in the guard's head.
The point is, I left the cabin before its occupant returned, and I immediately disembarked the ship.
Certainly, all I can tell you is that only the inspector was waiting for me when I arrived back at my cabin.
And you entered without an inkling of suspicion.
That's right. None whatsoever.
Okay, now we've pressed everything. So it seems like we do have to present evidence here. Well, what do we present? No possible way I could have transported the victim's corpse back to Britain.
That one.
No, it's all crew members.
What is that one? What is the passport say again?
Passport, let's see. It's just that, what's his face? Gregson is going to France. And he has a passport for him and one additional person to travel.
Gotcha, yeah.
The autopsy report?
Oh, yeah.
This is Clint Van Zeke's. This is autopsy report. If you look at what Gregson's autopsy report, do we even have an autopsy report for Gregson? Here we go. Let's see.
Yep.
Indeterminate time of death. Evidence to suggest measures may have been taken to disguise time of death.
We can present that.
Victim was shot in the chest at close range from the front, resulting in instant death. Gun of caliber. Yep. You wait. This? You think this?
Because it says that it's indeterminate time. Oh, but I guess that doesn't prove that Howie can sneak something off a ship.
Yes.
But I don't think anything else we have does that either.
Well, I mean, something must, right? Technically.
Maybe the wig?
The wig.
I don't know. He was wearing a wig. Why?
Okay, we're trying to prove how Jigoku could have moved the body off the ship, though, right? Gregson's trunk? Isn't this not like... No, like, this isn't like the huge trunk, though. Like, this is like a tiny trunk. Like, it had a passport in it.
Small chunk.
Like, this doesn't, like, carry, like... It's like, it's
Well, they
tiny.
chopped
It's
them
like,
up using Cosmos swords.
it's like a
Put them back together.
lunchbox.
There's nothing else. I don't know what else they could be.
What are the papers to the left?
Oh, the Asogi
Oh,
papers. Oh, it's this, I think. I think it's literally his case is here.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, yeah, present it. Wow, good catch, actually.
Very nice.
There's no possible way you could have moved Inspector Gregson's body, you say. I would say the opposite is true.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Far from being impossible for you to do. The transporting of Inspector Gregson's body back to Britain is something only you could do.
Oh,
What are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
As well as being a judge, Mr. Jigoku is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs, which means he's exempt from having his luggage searched when he enters the country.
Okay, well, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I don't think they've told us that. We learned that when we first met you upon your arrival in London. We
maybe
do?
he did talk about
This
it.
is what happens when you play the game after spans of weeks.
Where it took rather a lot of time. Too.
Oh. I mean, it's a flashback.
Well, all those
Yeah.
passport checks and luggage searches at the border took rather a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Okay, so we did technically know this.
As there's blood seeping from the bottom of his suitcase in the background. I knew you were jealous. Ha ha ha.
Nah,
He just casually left his suitcase there with the body in it, like just chilling, talking, like as
Yeah.
he's just right there. That's like so creepy.
I presume you recall this, Judge Jigoku. It's a photograph we took in the foyer of the hotel to mark the occasion. As the court will note, you will have with you your large travel trunk. Large enough, in fact, to have a corpse inside.
Mr. Naruhodo, surely you're not suggesting.
I'm afraid I am, yes. 3 days ago, when we were chatting innocently with the new arrivals from Japan in the hotel, the body of Inspector Gregson was just meters away from us, inside Judge Jigoku's trunk.
That's dark.
Order in the court. I'm skeptical, counsel, that a grown man's body could fit inside even the largest travel trunk.
Presumably the smell of a dead body around the trunk. Well, the idea is the body's time of death point nap was stalled because it was frozen, so the body wouldn't be rotting yet. And then I'm thinking he wasn't probably around for that long. But go for it.
Also, we can prove that someone fits in the trunk because that's where Judge Jigoku was hiding.
The fact that he was so chill is insane. Well, he's a stone cold murderer. You actually don't know how quickly a body starts to smell. Either way, I mean, if it was frozen, it's definitely gonna get slowed down too. Then
look it up, Point Nab, and then they'll put you on a list.
It could. Because I happen to know that the witness himself, a man of considerable size, fits inside his trunk. And verifying that will be extremely simple, wouldn't it, Judge Jigoku?
But inside his trunk, how horrifying.
And after we'd spoken with you at the Great Waterloo Hotel, you had the opportunity to visit the apparent scene on Fresno Street. Taking your trunk with you in a cab to deposit the inspector's body.
I don't have to listen to this nonsense.
Dr. Gori, the coroner who examined the body, has confirmed the possibility. She's acknowledged that there are signs that steps may have been taken to disguise the true time of death. It's a bit gross sitting inside the same trunk you hit a dead dude. Hey, you gotta avoid getting arrested somehow. The onset of the body's decomposition could have been delayed by storing it inside in a refrigerator.
Counsel, as I remember explaining yesterday, refrigerators of the requisite size are few and far between.
Yes, and I'm sure they are, but one place they're certainly found on is on large ocean liners. Such ships are equipped with electrically refrigerated cold rooms to keep food fresh on their long sea voyages, and the SS Grouse is no exception. Professor Mikotoba told me about it only yesterday. Well, Judge Jigoku? However much you prolong this debate, you can't eliminate the truth. All the evidence points to you being the killer. There's one major flaw in this, just like, how did he get the body to the fridge? And how did he get it back into his trunk from the fridge without anyone noticing?
Yeah.
We find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Wait, I'm sure there'll be like a better place to pause. Just keep going for now. I assure you.
He's holding us hostage.
Yep.
He's holding my pregnant wife hostage.
That's
Keep
right.
going for just a little bit
Flip it.
longer.
Ivana?
Keep going, just say the line.
This is you.
Oh
Jigo
my
Crew.
gosh, I'm sorry. I thought I was waiting on you. Well, this is all very hardening. I can see that it was a wise move letting Asugi and you embark on this study tour.
What are you talking about now?
Actually witnessing a hostage situation? No, they can't go free.
Logical reasoning, of course.
Convenient timing as always.
Well, he can stream. He can stream himself.
It's true.
Doesn't mean that I have to be here.
It's true.
Redeemed. I'm rich.
Mhm.
What does that mean? What does that do?
He's rich.
Yeah, do you want to explain what it does, Thomas?
Yeah, it just shows how rich he is. That's it.
Did you drink your water?
Not yet. You gonna keep reading?
I'm waiting on Ivana.
I know, I'm talking, yeah.
I feel like there's something that you're not telling me.
It literally does nothing.
And why spend it?
Why spend it indeed?
Okay. All court proceedings will be built on logical reasoning in the new century. And I can see that you've both laid firm foundations for that already. Judge Jigoku, please stop diverting attention from the issue at hand.
Okay, so the moment he starts to explain something, that's when we can pause.
Okay. The defense has made an accusation against you. How do you respond? Respond? There's really no need for me to respond, is there? Why ever not? So right here we'll stop, or? Because before you can even begin to answer the question of when the victim was killed, you must first establish one key fact. Where was the victim killed? It's quite logical. We should stop there, yeah?
The actual scene of the crime. Wait.
Austin!
Any second now.
Prosecution's stance is unaltered. The killing took place on Fresno Street when the gunshot was heard. As the accused, Barak Van Siek shot the victim at point-blank range.
Since no tangible evidence exists to disprove the prosecution's claim at this time, the defense's deductions amount to little more than an elaborate fairy tale.
I'm afraid that's how the logical reasoning the British are known for really works, young stripling.
I guess we just pause here then.
Yeah, because
Alright.
we'll probably just keep going.
Yeah,
Who
I think.
knows? Watch us start next time, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be right at, there's gonna be like a perfect cutoff.
To be
2 minutes in.
continued.
Alright. I guess we're gonna go ahead and call stream for today. Point up, even if you extend the stream by an hour, it would just be me by myself reading.
It's already 11:12. I'm sorry. I don't want to end it, but it's late.
It's okay, yeah, no, maybe if we didn't start an hour late, just kidding.
No, sorry. You're right.
Anyway, so
Sleep.
we're gonna have to go ahead and end stream for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. Whoops, nope, don't overwrite that one. I don't even know why we have multiple slate slots anymore, but
Can you really blame me for being late, Thomas?
of course. Double standards, man. Anyway, thank you all for watching. We're obviously gonna have to call stream for today. Matt and Ivana have to get going. It is late. I mean, we streamed later than they usually would, thankfully, because we are both at our places already. But we're thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll catch you all in the next stream. Until next time, everybody. You guys can
See ya.
wave bye. Quick, you're gone.
gone.